Good evening, and welcome to Neutral News, the only program to look upon the bewildering chaos of the modern world and respond with a slow, deliberate blink. We have, as ever, just one story for you tonight. An event of such seismic cultural importance that it has sent minor, bewildered ripples through the worlds of both ska music and cinematic fantasy. We are speaking, of course, of an unscheduled intersection of celebrities in a large greenhouse in Cornwall. The band Madness were performing. The actor Warwick Davis was also performing, it seems. We go to our correspondent, Susan, who has been forensically examining the shaky mobile phone footage. Susan.
Neil, on the evening of Saturday, the 12th of July, during a scheduled musical performance by the group Madness at the Eden Project in Cornwall, an unexpected incident occurred. Mid-set, the actor Warwick Davis, known for his roles in the Star Wars and Harry Potter film franchises, appeared on stage.
Appeared, Susan. This wasn't a planned duet? He didn't emerge microphone in hand to provide a guest vocal on baggy trousers?
The nature of the appearance was initially ambiguous, Neil. Mr. Davis was attired in the uniform of a British police constable. He was also equipped with a truncheon. His immediate action was to approach the band's saxophonist, Mr. Lee Thomson, who was coincidentally dressed in what has been described as thief attire, and enact a form of mock arrest.
A mock arrest? Let's just allow that concept to percolate. An actor most famous for playing a small furry creature and a diminutive sorcerer has dressed as a policeman to apprehend a musician in his late 60s in the middle of a song. What was the alleged infraction? A breach of the peace? Or perhaps the flagrant overuse of the saxophone, a crime many would argue has been without a suitable punishment for decades?
The specific charges were not articulated, Neil. The interaction has been characterized by witnesses as hijinks and tomfoolery. It involved Mr. Davis striking Mr. Thompson with a foam truncheon before leading him away. The entire episode lasted approximately 45 seconds.
So, less of formal legal proceeding and more of a light-hearted pantomime of state-sanctioned violence. I must ask about the equipment, Susan. This truncheon. Was it a standard issue police baton or a theatrical prop? The legal and insurance implications are, I'm sure you'll agree, vastly different.
The object has been confirmed as a prop made of foam, Neil. There were no physical injuries sustained by Mr. Thompson. We have sought expert opinion on the matter from a Dr. Alistair Finch, a professor of applied theatrics from the University of Chichester. He states, and I quote, "The juxtaposition of the benign celebrity with the iconography of law enforcement creates a carnivalesque dissonance while challenging the audience's perception of authority, while simultaneously reinforcing the playful anarchy inherent in the ska genre."
Carnivalesque dissonance, of course. It all makes perfect sense now. I am relieved there are academics studying these vital issues. But the story, I believe, does not end there. The long arm of the law, having had its fun, apparently returned to the scene.
That is correct. Later in the performance, Mr. Davis reappeared on stage, this time in civilian clothing. He addressed the audience, stating that he had been an admirer of the band since the age of 13 and would often dance to their music in the privacy of his bedroom.
A confession. So the initial act of costumed aggression was merely a prelude to a heartfelt declaration of fandom? It's a bold new approach to the celebrity meet and greet. Forget a polite tap on the shoulder. The new etiquette is apparently a theatrical assault followed by a public reminiscence about your adolescent bedroom. What was the band's reaction to being, for want of a better word, upstaged by this superstar intervention?
The band's front men, Mr. Graham McPherson, also known as Suggs, responded to the situation. After Mr. Davis requested that the band play their song One Step Beyond for a second time so he could dance to it, Mr. McPherson is quoted as having brought the show to a resounding halt, stating he was not keen on being, in his words, upstaged by a superstar.
A fascinating glimpse into the delicate social hierarchy of the British stage. One is a beloved pop icon, the other a globally recognized film star. A clash of cultural titans played out in front of thousands of people in what is essentially a very large conservatory. But Meal, let's consider the other members of the band. Only the saxophonist was subjected to this dissonant carnivalesque display. What about the others? The bassist, the drummer, the keyboard player. Did they express any disappointment at being omitted from the theatrical arrest? Is there a risk of resentment within the group?
There have been no official statements from the other band members regarding their feelings on being omitted from the theatrical arrest, Neil. They maintained a professional composure throughout the incident, continuing to play their respective instruments.
The very picture of professionalism. Now, you mentioned the audience reaction was positive. Can you give us a more detailed breakdown of the public response to this? In this digital age, I assume every moment was captured, catalogued, and commented upon.
Our digital analysis team has compiled a summary of the online reaction. The sentiment was overwhelmingly positive. One user on the platform X posted, and I quote, "Warwick Davis as a copper arresting Thommo from madness is the most British thing I have ever seen. My life is complete." Another commented, "Never thought I'd see an Ewok get the better of a nutty boy. What a time to be alive." A third user posted a picture of their pasty with the caption, "The concert was good too."
A powerful testimony. So, did the band accede to this request? Was there a second dance? Did the superstar get his way?
They did, Neil. The band played a brief reprise of the song, during which Mr. Davis engaged in what has been described as enthusiastic jumping and arm-waving.
So, a lesson for us all. If you want to hear your favorite song again, don't shout from the crowd. Simply acquire a police uniform and a prop weapon, and the band is apparently at your mercy. Let us not forget the location of this drama, Susan. The Eden Project, a carefully curated biosphere containing thousands of rare and exotic plants. Were they in any way been affected by this sudden outbreak of Scar-related law enforcement?
There have been no reports of distress to the flora meal. The Chilean wine palm and the Mediterranean section's olive groves appear to have remained impassive throughout the incident.
So, the public endorses this behavior. This sets a dangerous precedent. What's to stop Sir Ian Melkellen, dressed as a traffic warden, interrupting a storms he's set to complain about illegal parking? Where does it end? Are we to expect Dame Judi Dench in full Queen Victoria regalia to abseil onto the stage at Glastonbury to critique a band's timekeeping?
The long-term implications for concert etiquette are as yet unclear. Professor Finch did add that such events are, quote, sui generis and unlikely to be replicated without a significant diminishment of their chaotic charm.
Sui generis, a one-off, a small mercy. So, to summarize for viewers who may have just joined us, struggling to comprehend the sheer unadulterated Britishness of this event, an Ewok dressed as a policeman jokingly assaulted a member of Madness in a giant greenhouse in Cornwall, an act a leading academic has labeled carnivalesque dissonance. He then demanded they replay a hit from 1979 so he could have a little dance, which they did, much to the mild irritation of the lead singer, and the public, based on extensive research, thought it was better than a pasty. Is that a neutral and accurate overview?
It is a brutally accurate and commendably neutral summary of the situation, Neil.
Thank you, Susan. It is a story that truly encapsulates the state of the nation.
A story that says, things are a bit silly, but we're mostly fine with it. A story that is, in its own way, one step beyond belief. Good night.